Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Dominate with AI, Drive Relevant Traffic and Boost Conversions with Adyogi and COOEE. I'm Harleen, and I'll be your host for this insightful session. So let's just wait for everyone to join. So, for our audience, a quick brief before we begin. Feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A box, and we'll take them up during our live Q&A session at the end of the webinar. And we'll also be launching interactive polls, and we would love to hear your inputs on that. So please do participate. And stay tuned till the end to get a chance to grab a 30-day free trial of our AI tool. So, as we all know that the retail landscape is evolving at a lightning speed, and AI has truly contributed to its fast-paced growth. But did you know that the average bounce rate for websites across various industries ranges from 41 to 55%? Well, that indicates a significant portion of visitors leave websites without engaging further. Also, the global conversion rate is only just 1.79%. This gap presents a massive opportunity for scalable growth. So, today we're thrilled to have industry leaders amongst us to discuss strategies, solutions, and real world examples of how AI can be used to overcome this challenge effectively. But first, let's start with a quick poll. Anshuk, can we have the poll on our screen, please? Can we have the next slide? Yes. So, my first question to you is, have you used any AI tool in your marketing efforts? Request the audience members to please participate.
Well, that's good to see. A lot of people like there's still 50-50 there, but yeah, would love to know more from the audience in the coming time, as in what kind of tools they've used and what their experience is.
Absolutely. Request everyone to please participate. So I can see that a lot of you have already started using AI and for those who are still, exploring such tools, we hope that this webinar will help you with insights on getting started and how it can actually help your brand achieve its true potential. Thank you for participating. Let me introduce our speakers for today. First up, we have Anshuk Aggarwal, co-founder of Adyogi with over 10 years of experience working with D2C brands like Manever, Rare Rabbit, and Raymond, Blackberries, Westside, Shoppers Stop, etc. And he's managed ad spends worth $100 million. So, Anshuk, over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Arlene. Hi, everyone. Super happy to be part of the webinar discussion today. And like Arlene mentioned, we have been in the performance marketing space for the last 10, 11 years, working with brands to take them from the first, let's say, few crore sales per month to 50 crore, 100 crore. We have had multiple successes of brands doing more than 100 CR per annum using performance marketing on Meta and Google. Last couple of years, of course, a huge push towards AI. So happy to talk about AI and how we see brands using AI in their day-to-day marketing. Back to you, Harleen.
Thank you so much, Anshuk. So, joining Anshuk, we have Shwetank Tamer. Shwetank is the founder and CEO of COOEE, a revolutionary deep tech platform tackling the number one challenge in e-commerce, which is poor conversions rate. So, his experience of working with large enterprise companies in over 80 countries and launching D2C products himself led him to launch COOEE to solve the problems he faced. So over to you, Shwetank.
Thank you, Aline, and thank you, Anshuk and Adyogi team. This is a very exciting webinar for us, and we're really happy that we're getting to partner with you guys with different brands to go ahead and help out every D2C brand with the whole AI story. And conversion rate is at the heart of where we are trying to solve the problem with real-time intent-driven personalization. I'd love to take you through that in the coming way, but super excited, and more important is waiting to hear all your questions and how we can help you get a better understanding of AI.
Thank you so much, Shwetank. So, with the combined expertise of our panelists, we'll dive deep into how AI can help you drive traffic and boost conversions. So, without further ado, let's start with Anshuk. Over to you, Anshuk.
Thanks, Arlene. So today we thought that because Adyogi and COOEE are coming together, we had this nice sort of representation of how we want to have the webinar discussion. Adyogi, of course, our expertise is making sure that how do we bring in the right traffic using social platforms like Meta, Google, YouTube, Instagram. And COOEE has always focused on conversion optimization with the assumption that if you've got the right traffic on the website, how can you now make them convert, make them buy more from the website, make them buy more regularly from the website? So conversion is what COOEE will pick up. Shwetank, of course. Now, on the Adyogi front, just moving on, these are the two specific problems I want to talk about today. The focus of this webinar is absolutely on AI. So I'll talk about two very crisp problems we have seen brands solving using AI when it comes to performance marketing for e-commerce. The first problem is more on the feed side. How do we use AI to enrich feed on Google and scale your most popular campaign on Google, which is Performance Max campaign? I know many of you must already be running Performance Max campaign for your e-commerce store. The second problem which I'll cover today is how do we use AI for creatives and specifically for scaling Meta? And we all know that there's a lot of noise around using AI for creatives. I know you yourselves might have come across multiple tools, but I'll talk about one or two very crisp use cases of what we have seen, and maybe a little bit about what results we have seen when we have used AI for creatives on Meta. So jumping straight into the first problem, I in fact would urge many of you, I'm sure you must be having phones in your hand, to just take out your phone and search along with me these 3-4 keywords, which is Mandarin collar shirt. You can add a gray or you can skip a gray also. If some of you can just take out your phone, open Google, search Mandarin collar shirt, and scroll through some of the products you are seeing on Google, right? And if any of you is seeing any product of Rare Rabbit, and you can just put a comment in the chat box, if you're able to see, maybe a yes in the chat box, that will also give us an idea of how many of you are actually able to see Rare Rabbit products in the chat box. If you're not able to see, of course, you can put a no as well. The larger point was when you put all the right attributes in the title of the product, and Mandarin is an attribute. Mandarin is actually a type of collar in the product search. You see that products are able to be discovered better. And we did this exercise with many brands, including Rare Rabbit, where we identified all the right attributes of the product. It could be brand name, it could be gender, it could be color, it could be fabric, it could be collar type. And we appended them in the titles of the products. And we saw that just by getting the right attributes, they were able to scale their Performance Max campaign. The question then is, if titles are so important in Performance Max, how can we use AI to enrich the titles? And that's what I'll talk about in my subsequent slides. So this is an example of an actual AI in action. So what we did is we picked up a product of one of our brands. We gave the product page URL along with all the title description, which we pulled from Shopify to our AI engine. And we asked specific questions to AI that what is the fabric of the product? Cotton, what is the print? What is the pattern? What is the collar type? What is the sleeve length? And we were able to see all these attributes being correctly identified by AI. So solid print, textured pattern, Mandarin collar type. We also extended this to image. So it need not be just the, I would say, product page URL, it could also be image. This is actually an example from one of our brands called Nest Roots, where we gave this image of the product. As you can see, it's a nice round wooden stool to the AI engine. And we asked a specific question of the attributes, and we were able to get very crisp answers. And these are actual outcome from the AI engine: wooden material, mosaic pattern, botanic print. So AI is actually able to help us identify the attributes correctly from the image as well. Once we get these attributes, the next step is to actually stitch the attributes together, which is also equally important. So we did this exercise along with Google, where we created taxonomy across 38 categories. And taxonomy only talks about which attributes to be put for which categories. So just to give you some sense, for example, if you're talking about formal suit, a 2-piece and a 3-piece makes more sense. If you're talking about formal trousers, then a flat front or a pleated would make more sense. The idea being that the attributes also depend on the category. Not the same attribute is applicable for all the categories. So we have this nice taxonomy document, and I would urge maybe Harleen to sort of share a link to the taxonomy document on the chat itself so that all of us have access to this. I want to call out that this is jointly done by Adyogi and Google, and this is exclusively available to the people who are sort of attending the webinar today. Now, the question for all of us here is, how can you do it for your brand? And of course, which is exactly what I want to cover today. I'm going to give you a demo of how you can generate these attributes for your own brand using the most popular tool on AI, which is ChatGPT. So we'll take an actual example of this particular product, what you can see on the left side: cotton stretch plain shirt, Benedict pastel green product. And we'll put it into ChatGPT and ask this specific sort of a prompt to ChatGPT. And you can see the prompt on the screen. Can you give me the following attributes to be added to the Google title for the Performance Max campaigns to perform better? And color, material, collar, type, occasion, right? So let's just try to see that. I've done that before the webinar. I have a sort of a video to sort of run it for you. So just pasted this exact question to ChatGPT, and you can see what answer we get. So it says to optimize Google title for better performance max, it's essential to include relevant attributes. So it's saying almost the same thing which I just said. And then it says suggested Google title. It is giving you an entire title. It has also broken it down by the attributes. So color, material, pastel green, cotton material, collar type, spread collar, occasion, casual, party wear. And then it has also appended all these attributes onto the title. It says Ray Rabbit Benedict men's shirt and hyphen all the attributes together. So you can actually use ChatGPT to do it also at a product level. What we have done is we have just added an additional layer of automation on top of it. So obviously brands are free to sort of do it manually for all their products, maybe do it manually for all your bestseller products. But if you do want to extend it to your entire catalog, and maybe you have a catalog of 5,000, 10,000 products, we have built this automation in BigAtom where we can do it off the shelf, and all our taxonomies are pre-configured into the tool. So you can see that I picked the category called jeans. Then I was able to pick these columns and stitch them all together. Some of these columns can be from your website backend, like brand, gender, material might come from Shopify. Some of these columns can be from AI, like AI product type, AI pattern, AI wash, and we can then stitch them together. And with one click, we are able to send these attributes directly into your merchant center. You can see roughly about 88 products got impacted because of this, and they go to the merchant center. So while, of course, there's a manual way of doing it, which is equally good, where you can go to ChatGPT and get them. There's also an automated way, which we can do using our BigAtom solution. And this is something which I want to share today. We did this for multiple brands. This is a co-authored case study between Adyogi and Google. We did this with Bewakoof, which is one of the Gen Z men fashion apparel brand. And we saw this very interesting use case with them. They had a lot of merchandise products on their website. So they had a full Harry Potter collection. AI was able to read the images, identify that it's a Harry Potter collection, pick the keyword Harry Potter, append it to the titles, and we saw a 5x increase in paid traffic to product pages just by getting the right titles in their right keywords in their titles. And this is a Google published case study. So all these numbers are validated by Google. But just wanted to call out that how impactful can feed AI be? And again, two more examples. With Forest Essential, their Saundarya cream is their top selling product. But most people don't search Saundarya cream. People search skin brightening. People search 24K gold. People search face cream. So if you get all these right keywords in the title, we have seen campaign scale. Similarly, for Superdry, we saw that they didn't have hoodie mentioned in their title, and a lot of people search hoodies when they go to Google, and AI was able to identify that this is a hoodie jacket and add that hoodie in the title, as you can see at the bottom. So there are many use cases of brands. The bigger call out is if you're not currently using AI for your titles on Google, then you're definitely missing out a big opportunity. So that was the first sort of call out for today. And I also want to cover a second use case before, of course, I hand it over to Shwetank for covering the conversion optimization. The second use case we come across is using AI for creatives and specifically for scaling on Meta. Now, on Meta, we all know that it's a very visual platform and creatives play a very important role in scaling an e-commerce. The question is, how then can we use AI to enrich our creatives? And there are three specific ways we have seen. The first one is background generation, very common use case, where you can see that you can change the background using AI. The second is actually product model change. This is a very nuanced use case which has come, where you can just upload the product and you can actually create product images and how does it look on different models, which could be different body types, different ethnicity, different kind of people. What you can see on the screen is the same red dress, but two very different people who are wearing the dress. The right side is actually the most advanced AI use case which is coming up on image to video generation. So you can see that the image on the left side is actually an image picked up from the product website. But what you see on the right side is an actual video which is being generated by AI using the same image input on the left side. So these are three use cases which have come. All three of them, of course, are getting widely used. The one on the right, which you see, is being used by a brand called Bewakoof. We just spoke about it a while back. What I'll do today is I'll walk you through one of these use cases in the interest of time, which is a background generation. But definitely the remaining ones can also be sort of built on top of the first one, which I speak about today. So before we actually go into a little more nuanced, I want to also call out that Meta itself has rolled out a lot of AI use cases on their ads manager. So what you see on the screen is a video recording of what AI features exist on Meta. And I'll talk about what limitations are also there. But first, let's just see what these features are. So scroll onto the Meta, go to this Advantage plus Creative. And there is something called enhancements. There are 9 enhancements which Meta has rolled out. And if you just go down, there is something called generate backgrounds. Now, this is the enhancement which we want to talk about today. You can switch it on. Meta shows 7-8 different backgrounds for different products. And these are mostly background changes where color of the background has changed. And the color also changes depending on the product. So it's a yellow shirt, then it's sort of a combination of yellow is what you see in the background. So this is a relatively basic feature, but we have seen good outcome coming from this basic feature also, where we have seen background start to look better, conversion rate, click rate starts to go up, right? Having said that, this is not all. There are some limitations when we do this feature on Meta also. Number one, you don't have a lot of control on what background goes in, because these are like preset backgrounds from Meta. So you can't really control a lot. Second is also that you can't give a lot of context to Meta. So you can't say that, look, I want to have Qutub Minar in the background, let's say, for example. You can't do that with Meta. Meta does not let you put context to the image. And third is, which is a very common pain point we see from brands, is whenever you make these changes, the ads go back into learning. And we all know that when the ads go back into learning, the conversion rate sort of fluctuates. Nobody likes to see the ROS go down. So that becomes a little bit of a problem. What I'll show is how can you use, let's say, ChatGPT again with a combination of a tool which we are going to talk about in the next slide. to actually generate this kind of a background generated image. Actually, ChatGPT is not really needed so much if you have the prompt. You can actually use a tool called Cloudinary to do this. So we take a base image, we put a prompt on top of it, and we get a transformed image. I'll just show you how this whole thing works. So this is what we have done. We have picked up one image of a brand of ours, Raymond. We've gone to this tool, Cloudinary. They have a lot of nice, fancy AI features on their website. We select the same image. Now, there's this nice feature that you can actually put the prompt here. So you can also select from a list. They have a list of prompts, or you can put their own prompt. So we have said office background with computers and desks. We want to make a little bit of a geeky image here. So you can see that Cloudinary is able to, that prompt is generating a transformation on top of it. It's taking a little bit of time. Okay, and you've got an image. Nice. So you can see there's an office background. It has some computers. This one actually looks a little, I would say, animated sort of a thing. But I have seen some of these backgrounds are really, really good. So you can also A/B test with a couple of more backgrounds and sort of do that. Also want to call out that once you get these images, they need to be uploaded as a supplementary feed, which is a fairly straightforward activity. It takes about like 15 minutes to do that. The moment you do the supplementary feed, all these images now start running in your meta ads directly. So this is how you can use AI for image transformation. We did the same thing with Raymond when we had a meta hackathon around a month back. We picked a bunch of their catalog images, around 500 of them. We ran them through Cloudinary API, not really the manual way because it's sort of takes a lot of time. We generated a bunch of 5-10 different prompts, and we also used these prompts from ChatGPT itself. ChatGPT gave us a bunch of nice prompts. So this one would have probably said that you need a background with a plant at the background. So all these are prompts from ChatGPT. And then we ran an A/B test on Meta with the plain images and the images which have AI backgrounds. And we saw that the images which have AI backgrounds have much higher click rates. So clearly, there is a good validation that AI background images work well. Now, many of you may not know, but until about a year back, Google had a restriction that your Performance Max campaigns can only have plain backgrounds. Now, Google has lifted that restriction. So you can see that we could also push these images, nice fancy AI background images, to Performance Max campaign. And here also we saw that the click rates do go up when you run nice background images using AI. So that's sort of our two use cases I wanted to cover. I'll hand it over to Harleen now, and we have a nice poll coming up for all of you. Back to you, Harleen.
Yes. Thank you, Anshuk, for those amazing insights. So, before we bring in our next speaker, let's hear from our audience again. So, here's a quick poll. What is your approach to conversion optimization after bringing traffic to your online shop? Request everyone to participate. Thank you for participating in the poll. I can see that a lot of people have selected I need a better strategy. So I'm pretty sure what Shwetank is about to cover in the next part of the webinar, that's going to help all our attendees gain a lot of good insights. So over to you, Shwetank.
Perfect. I'm just sharing my screen. Want to make sure everybody can see. By the way, thank you, Anshuk. There are so many things that you actually spoke of I didn't know. And it is very nice to see all the advancements in AI going on, and really good to see how deep Meta is going. Plus, also what you're building is very complementary towards like solving the larger problem, right? But from my point of view, guys, now I want to welcome you to the dark side. And that dark side is, once you pay a lot of time, attention, and money to bring in the right quality of traffic. And Anshuk took us through how amazingly well we can use the tools, we can use the AI technology now to do it. Just think back from your mind that the way AI has evolved for bringing traffic, your website is still million miles away from that. When you think of in the past 10 years, the speed of creation of an ad, the targeting of visitors based on their persona, lookalike audiences, etc., has gone up drastically. But the conversion rate, which still stands at an average 1.79 for Shopify brands, has not flickered in the past decade. In a very simple summary, what I mean to say is AI has really done a lot of wonders on targeting and bringing traffic, but from a conversion point of view, we are still far away because your websites haven't involved there. And that's exactly what we are trying to solve at COOEE. And I'd like to take you through the entire journey of what the solution we've developed, which is majorly powered by AI, and how it can really help your brand. So let's go deep dive into it. This is the story of pretty much every single brand now. We saw the great way of bringing traffic, and at the end, you pay for bringing in 100 visitors. But if you do not focus on what your website is, what personalization are you offering, what kind of customer experience and journey you're offering, the fact of the matter is you pay to bring in 100 visitors, but at the end, just to convert. And now I want you to just take a second and think about it. Anshuk took us through a lot of parameters, a lot of data, a lot of segmentation, a lot of targeting. And the performance marketing works amazingly on a funnel. Everybody knows the tofu, mofu, bofu, targeting, retargeting, etc. So if your performance marketing is a funnel, your website should be a funnel as well. But today's website do not understand that or not built for that. They assume that as soon as a visitor lands, show them something, and that will take you to conversion. But we know, like we said, right, 98% of the visitors are not ready to buy. And that's the problem, that today, to deliver a customer experience which is suited to every single visitor, because no two visitor journeys are alike and every single visitor is in a different stage of buying journey, that's where AI has been revolutionary. And that's the kind of problem we are solving. And I want to show you, how this can deliver for your brand as well. We need to start looking beyond acquisition, right? You do the job of all the hard work there, but when you bring the visitors, websites start showing them, they treat them, everybody is the same. There is nothing as real-time changes, because personalization in traditional sense happens when the visitor comes back the next time, or personalization is something where you try to bucket every single visitor into just a few segments. But every single visitor is trying to do things differently today. And AI now makes it possible for us to understand and then deliver an experience based on where each visitor is. And if I'm a growth marketer, if I'm running a brand, if I'm a founder, I have this crazy mammoth task of looking at different platforms. First, I will look at Clarity or a Hotjar. Then I will look at, the funnels which get created in Google Analytics, which goes well, sometimes GA4, sometimes it doesn't, but it's an amazing tool. But it gives me the data of my funnels and what do I do with it? Then I have to look at my ads manager on the Meta side, Google side, to find out what campaigns are being running, what is the ROAS, etc. And then that data goes into Shopify for me to actually look at the conversion rate. Anybody who runs this for a brand today, and I can imagine most of the guys who've joined the call are running Post and Pillar to kind of do this on a daily basis, and it's a nightmare task. data silos, different platforms, nothing syncing, looking at different dashboards. That's where AI kind of really helps in putting this together now. And the way we're trying to do it at COOEE is it's one single platform that looks at all the leakages in your conversion funnel. Then AI understands where each visitor is in their buying journey and comes up with the best strategy to go and engage every visitor in that very session and show the impact on this, on conversion rate and ROAS on the Shopify side of delivery. So compiling this all together is something, again, which AI allows us to do. And why this is revolutionary is because we understand the visitor intent. I'll again go back to what Anshuk was trying to show us on terms of targeting and all the segmenting features, etc. But when a visitor lands on your store, why is understanding what are they doing on your store also equally important? Is because online shopping is a lot about every single visitor trying to give their intent signals, trying to tell us what are they looking about. Think of you going to a retail store. You walk in and you look at a product. So for some product, you want to touch the product. For some product, you want to ask the seller, hey, how is it? Was it good enough? Can I wash it? Can I go and do something about it? And we are all trying to mimic the retail experience to an online experience in the Shopify store. Like, funny enough, yesterday, a brand asked me this question saying, what is intent and how do you kind of determine it? Because I am selling a wellness product, which is against to a very different, apparel industry, for example, right? We were able to go and pull out saying in an apparel industry, if the visitors go and check different image of that product when they land on the product page and they scroll through more than 3 different options of the image, the purchase that they do is higher than people who just scroll through the page. Vis-a-vis compared to a wellness product where the page scrolling that they do, because they really want to understand all the merits of the product, they want to understand this is going to benefit my skin, it's not going to cause any harm. The people who scroll and spend higher time on the product pages, their intent and conversion was much more higher. So these are the kind of intricate details we can capture with AI in real time for every single visitor uniquely to create and deliver a customer experience that brings higher conversions. Because no two customer journeys are alike. I always use this example of sit on your sofa nicely relaxed and bring one of your family members next to you, switch on Netflix and give them your TV, the TV remote, and ask them to go and navigate and put a show that you're watching. And you'll very simply realize that the way they navigate and the buttons they press, etc., they will reach that show in a very different way to what you would have done it. In very simple words, every visitor is doing different things in a different way and finding the same product in a much different way. So based on all the personalization and targeting that you bring the visitor to product pages, and about 80% of traffic brands now bring to the product pages, you cannot show them the same product page. You have to understand what are they doing. You have to understand their intent. And then we can automatically personalize this product page and also the collection page based on visitor intent, based on where the stage of buying journey. And this makes them feel that, yes, what, brands understand me. They know where am I at. If they want to help them with decision making, or they want to help them with social proof, discounting, and all those other things to kind of help them cross the conversion line. How this journey is achieved is right from the landing page, which can be a home page, collection page, product page, right from the announcement bars to bundles, to pop-ups, to embeds, to cart upsell, cross-sell. This entire on-site journey needs to be knit together. You can't just deliver something on one page and forget about it the other page. And if the way traditional personalization works is a visitor comes, I will understand what they were clicking, and when the next time they come, I will show them something else, right? But you have to understand that most of the time when brand is bringing the visitor to the website, they are paying for it. It's all costing you those marketing dollars. So the best time to convert a visitor is when they are on your store. And that is what AI makes it happen now based on calculating the intent of every visitor and delivering that experience. How we kind of do is, again, from an installation perspective, it's one click install. We also offer a free trial. Most important question, we do not go ahead and deliver a website loading impact. So your speed doesn't get impacted at all. And then there is this entire managed service team behind which kind of helps and runs you with it and go ahead and deliver the value. I'll just go skip these through. I don't want to do it. And we kind of say that, with this real-time intent kind of personalization that we can deliver, we've seen on an average, we've delivered at least 10% increase in conversion rate in 90 days. And it's the whole approach that we bring together, which is the AI-powered thing, which makes all the difference. There are a few case studies. I just want to quickly show is Fool is one of very popular brand, as you guys know, love their products. And, the way they've created a category and revolutionized the way thing is. And this time I remember for Diwali, we were doing intent driven bundles for them. And their average AOVs are, as in their product starts from 400, right? That's where you can get the incense sticks from, and then that go up. And I remember the e-com manager actually giving me a call saying, somebody just purchased products worth 97,000 on the website, and that was a single order. He said, we've never seen this. It's because the bundles were created in such a way that when the visitor was trying to add to cart, we understood, what the intent was and all the products that will go in, and we incentivize that. And that kind of really led to about 240% increase in AOVs, which was, a mind-blowing number. That's one industry. Just give you a very parallel of a wellness industry. So, we work with Wellbeing Nutrition as well, a very large, very good brand. Again, wellness, gut health, etc. And for them, it is so important to understand the visitor intent, because the product pages, we customize this based on where is their reservation to buy this product. Because when you're buying a health-based product, you want to make sure you see social proof. You see it will not harm your skin. It will see all the benefits of the product, etc. And then with bundling, upselling, cross-selling, even on the cart level, it kind of really helped in deliver some very good numbers for them, and still, continuing. Just the last case study I want to show is another sector where we've seen very good numbers, which is again the beauty industry. A big impact of what we've seen between quick commerce and e-commerce. Some of those sectors of industry do still very well on the e-commerce side of things. Beauty is one of them, because people really want to feel the product. People want to understand the impact. People want to understand the merits. And then the way you go and sell this to them really makes a difference. And we've seen some excellent numbers here. So yeah, I have some more, but I'm going to just stop sharing. And over to you, Harleen.
Thank you so much, Shwetank, for amazing insights. So we'll now open the floor to questions from our attendees. So please feel free to type your questions for Anshuk and Shwetank in the Q&A box.
But by the time others ask a question, Anshuk, can I ask a question as well, please?
Of course, yes.
The whole image to video creation, etc., is really, really very cool use case you're talking about, right? How do you think there's some reservation points of brands to take that leap? What are the main things that they are thinking, and how do you think people can overcome that?
So that's actually one of the things which is definitely on top of our minds of brands when I interact with them. Um,
Mhm.
Number one, I think there's a lack of clarity on how good the quality of output will be, because brands, of course, are very cautious about not really coming across. They have some brand guidelines. They have certain sort of brand value to maintain, right? So number one, they're quite scared about how the output will look like. Number two,
Mhm.
I think there's a plethora of tools out there. So brands are often unclear as to which tool to use. There are also increasingly bunch of companies talking about AI image to video. LinkedIn is full of clutter talking about image to video these days, or talking about anything related to AI these days. So there is definitely an intent among them, but these are the two reasons why we are seeing a little bit of a hesitation. Having said that, Shwetank, we have seen a bunch of brands take that leapfrog jump from image content to video content. And
Yes.
in fact, many people may not know that Meta around an year back rolled out video catalogs. So till about 1 year ago, you could only run image catalog ads. But 1 year back, Meta said that why should catalog have only image? Why cannot it have video? And it rolled out a feature where you can add up to 20 videos for every product. So
Oh,
you
wow.
can today, using Meta API, have 20 videos at a product level, and you can
Amazing.
connect it to the catalog. So imagine somebody coming to your website, seeing the image of a red dress, going back to Instagram and seeing a video dynamic ad of the same red dress. That's
Nice.
something which is possible. And we have seen every time when we add videos to the catalog, the products which have videos get more and more impressions,
Mhm.
because Meta wants to prioritize video content, which has been very openly told by them. And second, every time the video content is shown, the click rates are higher. So it's a great strategy to identify your bestseller products, create videos of bestseller products either via influencer or via AI, use a supplementary feed and put them onto Meta, and run video catalog ads for your bestseller products.
Excellent. Great. I know these things are really the entry barriers for, a lot of brands, and that's how they can go about it and experiment and, drive value out of this. So that's amazing. Okay, we're seeing some questions, which is very nice. The
Yes. I think the audience is typing in the questions. So we have a first question. Is it easy to implement? Uh, I think this is for
So,
Shwetank, I'm not sure,
so
or maybe Anshuk. Yeah.
Um, uh, uh, we don't necessarily know what is the context here, but
Yeah.
I'll just answer in the context of maybe video catalog, because we were talking about it just a while back. Video catalogs are relatively easy to implement. There is something called a supplementary feed which Meta has rolled out. So you just need to put in an Excel sheet all the product IDs and all the product URLs, and you can upload into Meta using a supplementary feed. The same can be done for feed titles also. They can also be uploaded via supplementary feed. So the answer is supplementary feed is the way to go, and it's relatively easy to implement. There are a couple of hours of integration effort, but it should be up and running post that. Shwetank, you don't talk about COOEE. Is it easy to implement?
Yeah. So, Aza, if it was about COOEE, so we've kind of also solved the integration that way. It takes 30 seconds. It takes one click for us to get there. AI starts looking at customer journeys by itself, and then we can figure out where the drop and the problems in leakage conversion funnels are, and then what are the kind strategy suggestions for it, and we automated the campaign. So it's pretty straightforward. The second question is for COOEE. So what we've done is we've created the platform in a very asynchronous kind of a model. So this ensures that we're not keeping the threads alive in the same conversation, etc., and everything is done in such a way that this does not impact your website. We work with about 200 brands plus globally today, and nobody would be using us if we were making their website slow. So that was one of the most fundamental requirements, and that's what we've kind of done it. And today we can guarantee that it will not impact your website loading speed. uh, Anshuk, I'll take the next one, and then I think you should also add on that. So how can small and mid-sized D2C brand leverage AI without extensive technical expertise? I'd like to say this both for Anshuk and me, and while he'll add on, is the whole purpose of platforms like us is that we can bring in the AI and the expertise so that you don't have to do it by yourself. Rather than you as a brand, we understand that you guys have 1,000 things to do in a day. we cannot expect you to go deep into one subject, and that's what we are trying to do. So when we do that, we also provide managed services so that our teams can share the best practices, our teams can share the case studies, etc., and then implement it for you, and you derive the value. Anshuk, please.
Yes, fully agree with you on that, Shwetank. In fact, what I also did during my presentation is I showed some small examples of how, let's say, a tool like ChatGPT or Cloudinary can be used. We have also realized that brands and brand owners specifically and marketing heads are usually very, very sort of occupied in the day-to-day business. And while it can be done for like 10, 20, 50 products manually, we have realized that when you have a catalog at scale of 100 plus, 500 plus products, you definitely need an automation on top of AI to sort of do it at scale and do it recurringly. Imagine you have new products getting launched, you have pricing of products getting changed. Website is a very dynamic catalogs. So that's where COOEE and Adyogi, of course, come in. We sort of bring in that automation layer on top of AI, which can, and it can be very hands-off approach that once you get it up and running, on a day-to-day basis, we sort of figure out what are the new products getting added. We run it via an engine. We identify the titles. We identify the images. We integrate with using API with Google Merchant Center. We integrate using API with Meta Catalog, and we make it all seamless so that as business owners and marketing heads, you don't have to invest your time in on a day-to-day basis. Back to you, Harleen.
Yes. Thank you so much, Anshuk and Shwetank, for answering that question. So the next question we have, hi COOEE team, can you please share no more case study for apparel brand AOV 1500, 1800?
So I think the question would be share some more case studies around apparel
Yes.
brand.
Yeah.
Anuj, we work with a lot of apparel brands, some fast fashion brands as well. We can definitely provide you more and more data. But just to tell you, we work with brands who have an AOV less than 1,000 because that's pretty fast fashion. But we also work with a very large brand on the other side of spectrum, which is say House of Masaba. So you can see the AOVs are completely crazy. And apparel is one of the industry where COOEE really does well because use case, and in fact with Adyogi also we work with a lot of customers together. Malmal is a great example because the idea is to show that it's an amazing brand on the creative side, bring the traffic, and then try to present them saying, complete the loop. People are buying this. This is the hot take in the season. So that combination of both the platform also works very, very well. I think the next one, if it is for COOEE, I would say yes. At the moment, we're only for Shopify, but I know Adyogi is across platforms, so you guys can figure it out for every platform.
Yes. So the next question we have is how can AI optimization be done at scale? So
I think
Anshuk,
this might be more for
yeah,
you.
maybe you want to take that up.
So I assume the code the question is about feed AI optimization, which is because AI optimizations can be like many different kinds. I'll talk about feed AI. So feed AI can be done at scale. What we do is we have built an engine where every product page URL along with the image is being fed to our AI tool. We also feed the taxonomy along with it. So taxonomy is basically what all attributes are needed. And like you saw in ChatGPT, if you give the product page URL and you give the attributes, AI is able to generate the attributes. So imagine having a catalog of 10,000 products across 10 different categories. We give all the 10,000 products. We also give the taxonomy for those 10 categories. So for every product what attributes are needed to be extracted. They are run through the AI. We get all the attributes for all the 10,000 products. Now, because we have the taxonomy, we also know in which order they need to be stitched. So maybe, like I said, for a suit, you might want to put 2-piece, 3-piece first. For a shirt, you might want to put the fit first. So for each category, we know the order in which the attributes have to be put in. We stitch them together using a code, tech code at the backend, and we are able to generate 10,000 titles across this catalog of 10,000 products. Then we have API integration with Merchant Center, and all these 10,000 products are fed directly into your Merchant Center using Content API, which is again a tech integration, so to say. The larger call out being that from the brand side, we pretty much don't need any intervention rather other than just getting the raw feed, which you are currently putting into Merchant Center, and getting the access of Merchant Center where we can update the updated feed. All the existing campaigns, whether it's Performance Max or on Meta, can run as it is. And you'll be able to also do a pre and post comparison as to what were your Performance Max doing before we made the AI feed title change, and how is your Performance Max performing now after you made the change. And like I said, we have some immense, amazing case studies of brands which are able to see 30, 40, 50% increase in their PMAX campaign. In fact, the case study which we had a number of 5x increase in PMAX, but I don't take 5x as a benchmark. It was probably an anomaly, but usually we have seen 30 to 50% increase in PMAX campaigns. So that's how the whole process looks like. It can be automated. We have done it for brands even with a million plus catalog, because it's done in an automated fashion and no manual intervention. The catalog size is not a limitation. Back to you, Harleen.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anshuk. The next question we have is currently we are getting 40 to 50% landing page views on ads. Will the website become slow after enabling COOEE? I think Shwetank, you can take up this
Yeah.
one.
So like I said, and I think that's a very fair ask from brands, right? We guarantee that COOEE will not impact your website loading speed. Out of these 200 plus brands, we have only faced problem in 3 brands when we did this, and we got in our CTO to kind of bring in the call and then figure out what it was, and then we also took care of this, because the way we've designed this entire platform in an asynchronous way, it will not impact anything on your website loading, and that's what we'll ensure when we deliver that via COOEE.
Right. So the next question we have is while managing socials, creatives that have humans perform better or just product when it comes to wellness brands?
So I can take that up. So see,
Yeah.
wellness brands are, I'll tell you 2 types of cases we have seen. One is fashion, right? Fashion, you are wearing a round neck t-shirt, orange t-shirt. When you look at the t-shirt, you pretty much know that, look, you can wear it to gym, you can wear it to office, you can probably wear it at home. But when it comes to categories like health and wellness, consumer products, beauty, showing an image is not sufficient. Imagine showing an image of an Ayurveda bottle product and bottle image you are showing, right? Nobody gets anything when they look at the image, and nobody has time on Facebook and Instagram to really zoom in the image and start reading what it's about. So in categories like those, I would say it's the videos which do well. And when I'm saying video, I'm talking about video more from a UGC angle, user generated content, where you actually have a face of a video, you have a voice to the video, you have somebody talking about the USP of the product. How is this Ayurveda different from, let's say, 5 other Ayurveda brands? So for a wellness category, I would say it's the video content which works best, and best to have user generated video content. There is a lot of noise around AI UGC video. I haven't honestly explored it. In a way, it's oxymoron. You're using AI for UGC video, but that's also something which is available these days. But at the end of it, it's video which works well in this category. Back to you, Harleen.
Yeah. So the next question we have is how can COOEE dynamically edit collection or product pages on Shopify if it is being done? Can you share some examples of dynamic changes on these pages?
So a very, very good question. So when we look at those 200 plus micro behaviors to calculate visitor intent at COOEE, what we do is we look at which UTM source are they coming from, which page do they land, how much do they scroll, how much time it takes them to go from product to collection, collection to home, are they clicking on any product, color, size, description, FAQ, shipping, all these kind of things determine the intent of the visitor. When they actually land, very simple parameters like, are they the first time visitor? Are they a visitor who have come back but not bought? Have they already bought? These kind of data points also that we store, this can be used to dynamically go ahead and change the page layout for every single visitor. And this is done in real time. So what we can do right from the announcement bar to dynamic tags to in fact discounting, if somebody needs to be shown 20% or somebody needs to be shown 10%, then you change the pricing. For social proof, you can add an element. You want to also show FOMO of countdown timers, or you want to go and show that only X remaining in stock. Then you want to add a dynamic widget. For apparel, etc., there's a very good use case that you show a main product, but then you add a widget there saying, complete the look, or other people are also buying this. All these elements are added on the page. And then based on the visitor intent, based on all the rules that, go in there, to some this gets shown, to some something else gets shown. We can A/B test this, we can creative test this, we can put different text messages, and we can also go and try and test different offers. So that's how it works. And it can be done on homepage, collection page, and also on product pages. And we can also do this on the cart, right? So at the last part, because that is also used for upsell, cross sell. So depending on the brand and depending on the visitor, this can dynamically be done to achieve the numbers and the goals that you have. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you so much, Shwetank, for answering that question. So, with that, we come to the end of our webinar. Thank you so much for an engaging session, Anshuk and Shwetank, and a big thank you to our audience for their active participation. But before we wrap up, here's your next step. Adyogi is providing an exclusive access to Tides API, absolutely free, available till March 31st. So, Anshuk, can we have the QR code on our screen so everyone can scan the same? Maybe do you want to take up the explanation bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, this is actually very, very exciting, and I'm super happy to talk about it. TIDE stands for Title and Description, TIDES, if you haven't figured it out yet. Adyogi is the exclusive partner of Tides API. Tides API is actually a Google API, which has been built by them in the US, but they have given us exclusive access until March end. So anybody who wants to use Tides API to update their titles and descriptions, reach out to us, scan the QR code. We are giving it away 100% free. There are 2 onboarding calls, each for 30 minutes, to get it completely up and running on your merchant center. All your existing campaigns will start using the new set of title and description. And like I said, we have seen 30 to 40% improvement in your Performance Max campaigns using Tides API. We can also do a pre and post analysis to sort of showcase you the impact. So do scan it. We'll get it up and running for you. The only requirement is you should be running Performance Max campaigns on Google, and you should have a Google Merchant Center. And of course, you should be an e-commerce brand for it to make use of it. Please do scan. We'll also be sending the link over the chat. Maybe if Harleen, we can do that, just in case people want to click and book the onboarding meeting.
Sure.
Great. Guys, on our side also, we also offer a 21-day free trial where we will do an audit for your brand. We'll figure out where the conversion funnel leaks are, and then go ahead and help out with a strategy as well. And then feel free to book a call as well. And hope we can go ahead and help out and let you bring in AI to your business.
Absolutely. If you're ready to supercharge your strategy with AI, you can book a consultation with our experts from Adyogi and COOEE. All you have to do is just click the link shared in the chat box. So once again, thank you all for joining us today, and stay tuned for more insights and webinars. Have a great day.